The morning mist still lingered above the lawns, and the distant rhythm of the Firth of Forth murmured softly.
Dr. Axell and I sat on a weathered wooden bench beneath an old elm tree.
A silken spiderweb, delicately strung between two branches, shimmered with dew in the sunlight. Going inward isn't about escaping the world. It's about turning our attention to what's happening inside us, our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations. It's about observing, not judging, being with what is, without trying to fix or flee from it.
So it's about presence, about becoming aware of what's truly going on within us, beyond all the noise and roles.
Yes, beyond the roles we play, teacher, partner, parent, achiever, and into the space of who we are without any of that. That's where inner truth begins to emerge.
But Dr. Axell, if this truth is within all of us, why do so few people actually turn inward and change their lives when the opportunity arises? When they feel that quiet nudge?
Because the mind clings. It holds on to what it knows. People, outcomes, ideas, possessions, even a self-image. These attachments are often fueled by fear, fear of losing control, fear of being nothing, or by desire, the craving for security, status, or validation.
But surely some attachments come from love, don't they? Isn't that still beautiful?
Love is inherently free, but when love becomes possessive, when it turns into attachment, it begins to bind. It creates expectations, it fears loss. True love allows, attachment clings.
So going inward helps us see these attachments more clearly.
Exactly, it's only through inner awareness that we begin to notice the subtle threads pulling us. And once we see them, we can choose, not be ruled by them.
And yet most people hesitate. Even when life gives them a perfect moment to change, why do they still hold back?
Because change, real change, demands surrender. And surrender feels like a loss to the ego. It resists letting go of certainty, even when that certainty is painful. Only a few are willing to walk through that doorway.
But those who do, what do they find on the other side?
They begin to taste a different life. One not based on striving, but on alignment. Not rooted in performance, but in presence. That, Miss White, is what I call fulfillment, when inner clarity replaces outer achievement.
A fulfilled life isn't about having more, it's about needing less, feeling whole from within.
Yes, and it's quiet, subtle. That's why it often goes unnoticed in a world addicted to noise.
Then let us make it visible. Let this book become a lantern for those who are ready to remember.
That is exactly why we are here, Miss White. Miss White, when I was a young boy, my grandfather told me a story I've never forgotten. At the time, I didn't understand its meaning, but now, it feels more alive than ever.
I'd love to hear it, Doctor.
There was once a young bird who lived in a golden cage. The cage was beautiful. Intricate carvings, polished bars, even a velvet perch. The bird was fed daily. It was praised by visitors. From the outside, it had everything. But the bird often stared through the bars at the vast open sky. It felt something stir deep within, an ancient memory of wind beneath wings, of soaring above treetops. Yet it stayed. The food was certain, the attention was comforting, and the cage, though confining, was familiar.
And as if the story touched something within her.
One day the cage door was left open. A breeze entered, the bird's heart beat faster. Freedom was just a flap away, but it hesitated. What if it couldn't find food? What if it got lost? What if no one cared anymore?
And so, it stayed.
Yes, it stayed. The door was open but the mind was closed. The cage had become a comfort zone and freedom, a frightening unknown.
Dr. Axell, we are all that bird, aren't we? So many of us live in cages made of attachments. comfort, validation, identity, even pain. And when the door opens, we hesitate, because the known feels safer than the vastness of possibility.
Exactly, going inward is like noticing the cage, becoming aware of attachment is recognizing the open door, but fulfillment comes when we find the courage to fly.
And maybe your model, this work we're doing together. Maybe it's the gentle wind that reminds people how to use their wings again.
Yes, Miss White, not to tell people what to do, but to remind them that the sky has always been waiting.